Telesco, and I'm sure they're talking about that number 17 overall pick and how they should not use it on a quarterback because it is win now mode for that squad.
Oh, wow. Kay with takes. Kay's got takes there in New York. We got the GM of the Chargers. I love it. We're going to get to all of that, Kay. But first and foremost, Tom Telesco, we are huge fans of the Chargers organization and the Chargers team. I don't know if you ever watch our show, but I do know someone in your family circle is a fan of Good Morning Football.
Yeah, my father-in-law loves it. Watches every morning. Big fan of yours. Big fan of the crew up in Queensbury, New York. As part of his morning routine.
Love that. Upstate New York representing. But you're out there in L.A., and you guys made a big splash signing in the second week of free agency. Maybe the best center in all of football, Mike Pouncey. How did that come about, and how excited are you to have that offensive line set?
Very excited. I mean, he makes that offensive line go, and you can't have a top-level offensive line without a great center. So when Mike became available, we did a lot of work on him, make sure he fit with us, both as a player and as a person, and really excited about that.
You know, back in New York, Kyle Brandt, on the first day of free agency, we did our winners and losers, and our co-host Kyle Brandt said, the winner is the Los Angeles Chargers because they signed a guy named Jack Squat. He doesn't do much. He's under the radar. And you know what? We like the fact they did Jack Squat because it's oftentimes the team that doesn't jump out of the gates has the best offseason. So you guys were engaging with Jack Squat the first couple of days. What was the strategy of not going out and signing the biggest names available right away?
We're very selective with how we do it. I mean, we've been out there 2 years ago. We signed Russell Okung. It was a top-of-the-market contract. He came in, played very well for us, played in the Pro Bowl this year. So, but we're very selective in how we do it. So, I mean, we've seen year after year after year, it's just hard to have sustained winning over a long period of time when you build through free agency. So we'll use it here or there. We signed Casey Hayward a couple years ago, Travis Benjamin, Brandon Mebane, but we're really more focused on the draft, try and fill in free agency where we can. This year there were some guys we liked. It just didn't quite work out free agency-wise, but we added Mike. We added a kicker and Caleb Sturgis. Those were two big things for us right there. We had to add a kicker. We knew that. That was a big issue from last year. We're happy with Caleb. But that's just how it worked out in free agency. Every year's a little bit different.
Jack Squat. Caleb Sturgis comes onto the team, obviously, but we were fascinated with the mere thought of Sebastian Janikowski. If I'm not mistaken, he had an actual workout with you guys?
You know, we had to look at all options, and Sebastian's had a great career in Oakland. You know, we had him at least, you know, work out for us a little bit, you know, with the Chargers T-shirt and Chargers shorts on.
It has to be just painful for those Raiders fans.
It was a little bit different to see. He did a great job. He's a great guy. We ended up going with Caleb.
Love it. Kay mentioned the quarterback and the 17th overall pick. Phil Rivers isn't getting any younger. You've been at some of these pro days. I'm not going to ask you your draft plans, but are all options at that position available on the table at the moment as far as 17th overall? Could you take anyone, or is there a certain position you guys are looking at?
I mean, all options are always on the table, certainly this time of year. And they really have been every year the last couple of years. It's something we've never gone into a draft saying we have to draft a quarterback or we're not drafting a quarterback. So you just kind of let it kind of fall. We do all the work on every position, but we do heavy on quarterbacks. That's normal for us. And we'll see how it plays out. And in any round, don't really know.
Past few years, you guys have struck gold in the draft. And obviously we look at what Joey Bosa has become, and we know Melvin Ingram from when he came in. When you guys get these rookies coming in, what makes them a Charger, and kind of what is the mindset of, all right, once you're in our building, here's how we're going to develop and grow you?
You know, Anthony Lynn always talks about one thing, it's compete. And we want guys that come in and really work. You can have all the talent in the world. If you don't have the work ethic to back that up, you're never going to reach your full potential. So we want guys that really love to play. And I mean, everybody always says that, but we're really looking hard for that. And guys that want to come in and compete every day in practice. We're starting to see that. We're getting better little by little, but we're starting to put those pieces together this year.
Last year's first-round pick was Mike Williams. Obviously, injured, hampered him, stuck him. Where's he at now? And we have a status on Mike Williams for year 2.
You know, he finished the season healthy, so no change there. He's working out with everybody else, probably somewhere else outside the complex right now since it's a dead period for us. But now we're excited for him to have this full off season, work with Phillip, work with our quarterbacks that he didn't have last year at this time, and have him take a big jump for us this year.
Last year you guys started out 0-4 out of the gates. That's a usually insurmountable hole to get out of, yet come week 16, week 17, you guys were competing for that playoff spot. What's the message to the team going into the season this year so that maybe you don't start off the way you did last year?
Yeah, that's a great point, because we finished well last year, but last year's last year. So it's a brand new year. But at least we have the example to show everybody, hey, look, this is how we started last year, and look where we ended up. To start off 0-4 and then not make the playoffs even though we finished well. So it's a great example for the guys. Our head coach is a great leader. But we have to start quicker. There's no doubt about that. Our division's very difficult. Now with John Gruden in the division, Denver's getting better, obviously. And Kansas City, we've had a hard time with them for the last couple of years. So you have to win your division first. That's your first win of the playoffs. That's our main goal.
Year 2 in Los Angeles. Last year, obviously, the big move was the offseason story, and then you had injury to the first-round pick. As we go to Los Angeles year 2, what's the message for that community and that fan base to say, hey, we're the Chargers, we're here to win this fight for L.A.?
You know, it's nice this year just to be there without the distractions of moving anymore. Now this is really our first year we can sit down, a full off season that not worry about relocation. We have our practice facility all set. The stadium's ready to go. Our new stadium will be ready in a couple years. We're building, and that's the fun part. And we've told everyone in the building this. You know, it's a challenge where we are right now, but it's fun that we have the chance. All of us together can build something from scratch, really, starting over. And we've got a great group of players. We're playing an exciting brand of football. I love our head coach. He's a great leader. And you know, it's tough. It's a tough division, but we have some fun guys that really love to play, love to compete, fun to watch, and you know, I can't wait to get ready for training camp. You know, the offseason's too long for us.
I know. All right, 17th overall pick. This is my last question. If Chargers fans are watching at home right now, what can they look forward to about the 2018 Los Angeles Chargers? Why are they jumping out of bed right now knowing that this team's about to take the field?
I think what I just said, we have an exciting group of players and that want to work. And they take no shortcuts, and they're hungry. I think they saw what they were capable of last year, but we didn't play well enough for a long enough stretch. So, like I said, we just can't wait to get out there. This is our home now in Los Angeles, and we can't get ready to get going. It's time.
I love the urgency, guys. This is it. This is the Los Angeles Chargers. No longer the San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers. They're in it for the fight for L.A. They're also in it for the fight for the AFC West. Tom Telesco, thank you so much.
Great.
Good luck
Thanks
the rest of the
me.
week. Absolutely, guys. Back to you in New York.
Thanks, Drake. Tell Tom to get to a TV because I'm dishing out some major love to the Chargers a little bit later on in the show. And I know you've got guests on guests, but back here in studio, happy to see and hear that they're in win mode now, and he sort of realizes that.
Yeah, and shout out to Tom's father-in-law in Queensbury, too.
Hey.
Yeah, good morning. You know, Peter mentioned something I said earlier, that I loved the Chargers had the best signing of free agency, a guy named Jack Squat. Now, what I meant by that is they didn't go out and get a bunch of guys because they didn't have to. They're already rich. They're talent all over the roster.
Did he not explain that well?
I'm not sure. Peter's an expert at explaining things, but Jack Squat is this guy who just sits here and does nothing. My point is this. There's other teams that are lining up and doing Black Friday door bustings that can get a toaster or a 20% off a computer. The Chargers are like, have you seen our roster? We'll just chill. Maybe after a while we'll get a new offensive lineman, boost it up a little bit, but we don't need to run out there because we already got so much talent. They're rich already.
Yeah, speaking of squat, if the DBs are squatting on any of these guys' routes, they're going to go over the top. Their wide receiver core is loaded. I was listening to them talk about Mike Williams, who had a ton of hype coming into the draft, and then he sat because of injury. And like Tom said, he has the whole offseason to kind of get his bearings right, get healthy, and now you're jumping on the field with Keenan Allen, Travis Benjamin, Tyrell Williams. That's already a trio wide receivers that any team would love to have. Now you get your first rounder back on the field. This could be the best wide receiver core in the league. Now they got to stay healthy, and they got to go out there and prove it week in and week out.
Would you guys be shocked if they took a quarterback at 17 when one was there?
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that because maybe they want the guy of the future, but I also think they're in a win mode.
Same age as Eli, like they have to plan for their future
Why
as
did
well.
we say it about Eli and not Phillip?
Well,
I don't think they should do it
Super Bowl
for Eli.
rings.
They're one of those teams that is like the Giants that are so loaded right now. You can win a Super Bowl in the next year. You're that good. So I don't want to see them get a quarterback.
So if the Chargers had the number 2 overall pick, what would you guys be saying?
I'd get Quentin Nelson or Saquon Barkley. But they don't need Saquon. I'd get Quentin Nelson. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I say the same thing. For guys that are still in their prime, I get it. They're in their late 30s. Don't get a quarterback. If you want to win now, if you truly think this is your team, this is your year to go and get a Super Bowl, then get another player surrounding your quarterback, not the guy that's going to back him up and sit on the sideline.
It's a
Phillip
testament to
Rivers
their...
playing the best football of his life, though, right now, coming off one of his best seasons, ending 9-7 last year after starting 0-4. So it is a little bit different than Eli.
It is.
They won 3 games last year.
I know. That last year was a disaster. But I just keep thinking about it. You were asking about the other number 2 pick. Think about it. They don't need Saquon because they have a running back. They don't need Chubb because they have pass rushers. They don't need a quarterback. They're so loaded. And I'm just trying to see, is anybody going to take them out in the AFC West next year? We're all in on them. Fact is, Andy Reid does work on the Chargers. He doesn't lose to them. So I'm saying, I love the Chargers. It's still going to be a fight.
And we need the defense. Loyola, Chicago.
And as we know about the Chargers, they could take themselves out.
Loyola.
They do that. Witching hour. Witching hour.
Loyola, Chicago.
Why are we talking Loyola? What happened to the Wolfpack, Nate?
Because we're talking about Cinderella stories. Oh, wah, wah, wah.
Sorry, it was a good run.
We're going to give you our Cinderella picks after this. Mine's the Chargers. We just talked about them. But maybe I'll add some things to it. Who knows?
These shots are crazy. Those poor fans. You got the one in the